And with that, the next thing that we do is we have our all right, so boom segment done by none other than Miss Moya.
All right, so chapter 19, we start off with the two angels that were leaving from Abraham. In chapter 18, they were with the Lord and the two angels. Those two angels went to Sodom. They get to Sodom, they get to the city gates, and they meet Lot there. There is significance to the gates, and I think we talked about that in the last chapter. So go back and watch for the significance about city centers and the gates and the type of dealings that happen there. But at the gates, Lot is telling them, "Hey, come to my house. I want to host you guys." And they're like, "No, we'll stay here." And he's like, "No, no, no, you do not want to stay here. Come to my." So he presses them enough where they're like, "Okay, we'll come to your house." So they go to his house. Lot does a feast for them. He does, I think, bread, manna, or I believe unleavened bread.
Unleavened, yeah.
And unleavened bread and a feast. We don't know what's in the feast, but we know he had the unleavened bread. And then before they are about to go to bed, the men of Sodom, everybody from young to old, all the men of Sodom show up at Lot's door, and they are knocking on the door for him to bring out those two men that came to his house. And Lot is like, "No, guys, like, relax. You cannot take them. I have daughters. Take my daughters," which is crazy, but he offers his daughters to them, and they're like, "Who do you think you are? You can't come in here and tell us what to do. We don't want your funky daughters."
Oh, gee, not funky daughters.
Like, so then, so then he, they, the angels grab Lot, pull him back in the house, and these men are trying to break the door down, and the angels strike them with blindness. At that point, they can't see, but for some reason, they're still grappling to try to get in, and they just tire themselves out. And I'm assuming they go home. We don't really get told what exactly happens. They just disappear, like the story of them ends. But the angels let them know, like, this town is going to be destroyed. The city is going to be destroyed. You and your family, whoever you have, get them, and you guys need to get out of here. I believe it was in the morning. They remind them. Lot tries to tell his son-in-laws. So his daughters had two men that they were supposed to marry. They were engaged to, or is it betrothed to,
Yeah,
in the city. But when Lot told them, they didn't believe him. They thought he was joking. So he takes him and his two daughters and his wife. They're supposed to be leaving the city. As they're leaving, they're kind of like not really trying to go. So the angels grab them by the hand and take them out of the city. They tell them, "Hey, go up to the mountains, and so that we can wipe out this city." And Lot is like, "That sounds kind of far. Can I go right here instead?" And so they're like, "Okay, just go over there." So they go to the nearby, I forgot the name of the city, Zor, I believe.
Zoar.
So they go to Zoar. So they go to Zoar instead. And once they get there, as they're going there, Lot's wife turns back, and they were instructed not to look back, not to turn around. She turns back, she turns into a pillar of salt. Him and his daughters get there. What else happens? God destroys the city, of course. And then they don't stay in Zora. They end up going to the mountains that they were supposed to go to in the first place. And because it says that they were afraid to stay there. We aren't sure why exactly they're afraid, but they end up going to the mountains and living in a cave. So it's Lot and his two daughters now, no wife anymore. The daughters are worried because they don't have husbands anymore. They don't have kids. So the older one devises a plan to get their dad drunk, sleep with him, so that they can continue their family line. So she does it. And then the next day, she's like, tells her little sister, "You do the same thing." The little sister does the same thing. They both give birth. They both get pregnant to sons. They both give birth to sons. One is Moab. One is Moab. One is Benami.
Benami.
Yeah. And so we remember Moab from the story of Ruth, and we don't know Benami from anything that I it was just there. But that's where we end, and now we're coming into chapter 20.